Did you know that 1 billion Valentine cards are exchanged on Valentine's Day every year? That's second only to Christmas. Hey, I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. Today we're going to talk about 10 crazy facts about Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is that one day a year we're bullied into buying cards, flowers, and chocolates and expensive dining experiences in the name of romantic love, and we don't even get a public holiday out of it. Now, we didn't come up with this list on our own, so don't forget to check out the links and the credits in the description. So here are 10 crazy facts about Valentine's Day. Number 1. There are 3 St. Valentines. There are at least 3 martyred St. Valentines, all celebrated on February 14th, but we're going to focus on one St. Valentine because it's the most romantic, according to me. Valentine's Day is all about romantic love, but that's not how it began. During the Roman Empire, Emperor Claudius prohibited the marriage of young people, believing that soldiers who weren't married fought better than soldiers who were married. The church believes that marriage is sacred, so St. Valentinus began secretly marrying soldiers in the Roman army. Valentinus was caught and sentenced to a beating and execution. St. Valentinus died for what he believed in, which is love, so St. Valentine is the patron saint of lovers. Number 2. Valentines. Valentines were birthed sometime in the 15th century and popularized in the 17th century and mass-produced in the late 19th century. The oldest surviving Valentine dates from 1415, and it's a poem written by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife, and at the time the Duke was being held in the Tower of London. Ah, so romantic. These days, at least here in America, about half the population celebrates Valentine's Day in one form or fashion or another, spending about $18 billion on the unofficial peer-pressured holiday. Men spend about $150, while women spend around $75. How about some gender equality, people? And speaking of equality, Americans will spend about $9 million on their pets this Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Spoochy Moochie Poochie. Number 3. Valentine's Day flowers. The most popular gift on Valentine's Day is flowers. In fact, Valentine's Day is the #1 season for florists all over the world. 36% of all fresh flower purchases, which adds up to about $1.9 billion annually, are spent on fresh flowers each Valentine's Day. Roses dominate the flower market for Valentine's Day, but other flowers are purchased too during the Floral Valentine's Day Blitz. California produces 60% of the country's roses. However, on Valentine's Day, America imports 110 million roses from South America. Number 4. The number of flowers given may have a specific meaning on Valentine's Day. Numbers have meaning, and the amount of flowers you send on Valentine's Day may have a special meaning. Jamie Mcintosh, writing for the Spruce, says there is meaning to how many roses that are given. A gift of a single rose says that the recipient is the only one. Increase that to 3 roses if you wish to say, I love you. A gift of 11 roses means that the giver is missing a flower in the dozen, which makes perfectly good sense. Finally, an extravagant gift of 3 dozen long-stem roses says that the giver's heart belongs to the recipient. I honestly think people make this stuff up as they go along. I'm just saying. No offense, Jamie Mcintosh, but really. And the list goes on and on, so before you send the roses this year, you might want to do a little research, or just send a dozen roses and be done with it. Number 5. Valentine's Day chocolate. 36 million heart-shaped boxes of chocolate will be sold for Valentine's Day. Historically, chocolate and romantic love are connected for reasons we don't quite understand. It's a mystery. Casanova is believed to have consumed chocolate instead of champagne, and chocolate was also the favorite of Montezuma. Of course it was the favorite of Montezuma. After all, the word chocolate is from the Aztec word excolatl. No, I'm not going to try to say No, I'm not going to try to say that word, but it means bitter water. Bitter water. Valentine's Day chocolate. Whatever the reason, the Valentine's Day heart-shaped box of chocolate was first introduced by Richard Cadbury in 1868. So chocolate and Valentine's Day are definitely Facebook official, and they have been for some time. But let's be honest, chocolate on Valentine's Day is a no-brainer, at least here in America, where 50% of Americans prefer chocolate to any other flavor. And by the way, white chocolate is not related whatsoever to chocolate. I'm just saying, it's not. Let me take just a quick moment to thank you for watching this video. If you're a subscriber, welcome back, and thank you so much for sharing this video on your favorite social media website and hitting that like button. It helps our channel more than you realize. If you're new to A Nose for Life, welcome, and I hope you'll consider subscribing to A Nose for Life and clicking the bell for notifications. It's so important for our channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, so I'm truly thankful if you decide to subscribe to our channel. We make videos just for you. Now, let's get back to the list. Number 6. Valentine's Day is not a rebranded pagan holiday. You've probably seen this all over the web and on countless websites, blogs, and even YouTube channels that Valentine's Day was originally a pagan holiday that was rebranded as a Christian holiday. There's no evidence that supports this myth whatsoever. It's something historians have just assumed, just like they assumed that Christmas was originally a pagan holiday as well. Historians, like everyone else, need to sell books to survive, so sometimes historians draw conclusions even when the evidence is weak, cloudy, or just insufficient. They do anything to create headlines. Because historians are wrong every now and then, and a new take on history can sell a lot of books. Revisionism is popular, and sometimes revisionists get it right, and other times not so much. Officially, the origins of Valentine's Day might be a little blurry, but there's no hardcore evidence to suggest that Valentine's Day is a rebranding of another day. Still, people are always trying to reinvent history. But it is interesting to note that the Catholic Church struck St. Valentine's Day from its official calendar in 1969. Okay, so maybe that's evidence. Okay, that's some really pretty good evidence. Number 7. Wearing your heart on your sleeve. These days we use the expression, don't wear your heart on your sleeve, to tell someone, don't be so vulnerable, or maybe don't be so emotional, or be a little more protective of your heart. But the origins of this saying might mean something quite different. It's said that in the Middle Ages, single men and single women drew names out of a bowl to decide their Valentine, and they wore that name on their sleeve for a week, meaning that they were wearing their love on their sleeve. I really hope that's not where this saying comes from, because that's so weird. Maybe it begins with Shakespeare's play Othello, when Iago says, "But I will wear my heart upon my sleeve, for daws peck at me, I am not what I am." How depressing. But if this is the origin of the saying, don't wear your heart on your sleeve, then maybe originally it meant that it's a good thing? Wait, no, or maybe it's a bad thing? I have no idea. Just don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Speaking of Shakespeare, number 8, Shakespeare's Juliet Valentines. In Verona, Italy, Juliet, as in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, receives up to 1,000 Valentines from people around the world. Verona, the town of Romeo and Juliet, is often called the most romantic city in the world, and even if it's not, that's some great marketing. And what does the city of Verona do with all of those love letters? Well, they actually have a contest to see which love letter or Valentine is the best. If there's ever a city that knows how to celebrate Valentine's Day, it's Verona, Italy. They have festivals, musicals, and they decorate the whole town. There are even some romantic tourist packages on Verona's website, and no, I'm not sponsored, but this looks like it would be a lot of fun. Again, links are in the description. Number 9. Who gets the most Valentines? Many of the sources in the description provide the exact same information when it comes to who gets the most Valentines. At number 1, teachers. That's right, teachers receive the most Valentines. And the numbers are so stacked that February 14th and Teacher Appreciation Day should almost be combined into one holiday. I couldn't find a list that indicates what kind of teachers get the most Valentines, but I bet it's not math teachers. One would imagine that it would be biology teachers though, since Valentine's Day is all about the heart, and biology teachers, never mind. But after teachers, it's children, mothers, and wives, and of course sweethearts finish out the list. And finally, number 10, Henry VIII. Henry VIII declared Valentine's Day, February 14th, a public holiday in 1537, which is really, really weird considering that Henry VIII isn't considered the most romantic person in the world, considering the fact that he had 2 of his wives executed. Some say Henry was actually a pretty romantic kind of guy when he was a young man. He must have really loved women. I mean, he was married 6 times, 1 died, 2 divorced, 2 beheadings, and 1 who outlived good old Henry. So I say, Happy Valentine's Day, Catherine Parr. Congratulations for surviving Henry. So this concludes our list, and I want to thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button, and don't forget to share this video. I'm Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life. Hey, if you have time, be sure and watch some of these other videos.